So one night after you know what the main event of WrestleMania is, the following Monday on Monday Night Raw, they announced 2 more matches. They announced a match of Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker, which, in my opinion, that puts the main event behind. You got Shane McMahon, who, granted, it's been a very long time, and the few matches that he had, very athletic. He could take a hit. He's great on the mic, okay? And he's fun to watch. And then you have The Undertaker, who obviously doesn't need any kind of introduction or anything whatsoever. It's, it's The Undertaker, okay? Fantastic. Hall of Famer, just everything. And then you have Brock Lesnar, who is the main event, period, against Dean Ambrose, who, to me, is the next guy who should be getting a chance at a world title. Because Dean Ambrose is an athlete. Dean Ambrose is tough. Dean Ambrose is good on the mic. Dean Ambrose has that mentality. Like, he just puts on great matches no matter who he goes against. He can go against a smaller guy, bigger guy, it doesn't matter. He brings out the best in others. And that, to me, is what makes a guy a main eventer at something like WrestleMania, where people might go or watch one pay-per-view a year. It's that show. So to me, you put the best of the best in that main event. Not everybody gets to go to WrestleMania. Not everybody gets to compete at it. So you want the best of the best. So right there you have 3 matches, and to me, the main event is the 3rd best match on the card. It's the 3rd best match on the card already, and it's the main event. I don't know how you can put on a show where you're expecting 80, 90,000 people, and the 2 guys that are in the match, the guy that the company wants to put over, Roman Reigns, that guy, the fans can't stand. 90% of the fans cannot stand this guy. He has not paid his dues. He is not a guy on the mic. He's not somebody anybody wants to listen to. He's not somebody people want to watch for the most part. So this company is putting him in the main event, and they're trying to push him. And Vince McMahon just will not give up until the fans accept it. And that's just how it is. Vince McMahon is doing his absolute best to push this guy, whether he's pushing him to be a crowd favorite, whether he's pushing him just to be a world champ on the same level as The Rock and Stone Cold, I don't know. But when you have Roman Reigns and Triple H, and now mind you, Triple H is what they call the quote-unquote heel, the bad guy, the fans are going to react more towards him than they are Roman Reigns. The fans are going to cheer more for Triple H than they are Roman Reigns. That's just how it's going to be. And I'm going to tell you why it's going to be that way. As much as Triple H might be this bad guy, this heel, he has what they call a legacy. He has a history of working his ass off. Okay? He came in as, what was his name? Hunter Hearst Helmsley. He went from the WCW, where he was a bottom card, first match of the night kind of guy. Okay? Came to the WWF, where he was pretty much still the same thing. His first WrestleMania was against the Ultimate Warrior. I can't remember what number it was. 11, 12, 13, somewhere around there. I don't know. Of course he lost. He was a jobber. Okay? Put his work in. Worked his ass off. Became part of DX, whom everybody in the world could relate to because they were the smart-ass guys that wouldn't, take shit from anybody. So right now you got a fan base of those people, and now they follow him. They follow him with Shawn Michaels. The rest is history. He has a history of that. Okay? Roman Reigns, part of the Shield, that lasted a year. It was cool. Seth Rollins, who broke off of the Shield, has more of a following than Seth Rollins, or than Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins is great on the mic. Seth Rollins is an athlete. Seth Rollins puts on great matches. So that to me is the difference between Roman Reigns and all the other guys. Okay? He just hasn't put in that. he doesn't have that history like Triple H does. He doesn't have the mic skills like Seth Rollins does, and he doesn't have those great matches that you see. It's all this brutal strength that he has, which is great. I get it. It's fantastic. Okay? We need more than that. We need more than that. There's only so many times I can watch you punch somebody. Okay? There's only so many times I can see that, man. Anybody could punch. Doink the Clown was punching somebody. Give me something else. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't. That being said, again, Triple H, I feel, is going to be the favorite of the match. He's going to be the fan favorite, I think. I think if Roman Reigns does win the world title, I think it's going to be... I'm not going to say it's going to be bad for the company, by all means. Vince obviously knows what he's doing. He's been doing it a very long time. Not all fans may agree with him or the outcomes that he would like to have. I just feel if Roman Reigns wins the title, there are going to be some severely pissed off people in Dallas. If they're not already pissed off because they're Cowboy fans, they're going to be pissed off because of that outcome. Okay? If Roman Reigns wins, there are going to be some pissed off people. I mean, I'm not going to be pissed off. I'm not going to like it. Am I going to watch it? Of course I'm going to watch it. Do I want him to win? No. Not really. But at the same time, do I think Triple H should be the champion? No. No. Would really love to see Dean Ambrose get a shot. A fair shot of the title. I think he'd be fun to watch. I think he would be a very good person to put in that leader role. I think he can do it. He's got he's just got a lot of heart, a lot of hustle, man. And that's sometimes what it takes to be a champ. That's what a lot of guys had back in the day. The Eddie Guerreros, that's what they had. They didn't have the size. Eddie Guerrero, the Bret Hart, the Shawn Michaels, they had the heart, they had the hustle. That's what it takes. But let's go to another match that I had brought up. You got Shane McMahon and The Undertaker. I mean, nobody saw this one. Nobody saw this coming. If you say you saw this coming, you are a liar. A damn liar. Shane McMahon, I don't know how old is he. He's got to be in his 40s, right? He's got to be. He's got to be. He looked it, right? He looked it. My hair's receding, but his was straight white. Straight white. I mean, he was sweating just walking down the aisle. Did you see him in the ring? He was sweating when he walked into the ring. Come on, man. I know it's warm in there and hot in there, but you were glistening, man. You were glistening. Okay? You made Patrick Ewing look dry. Okay? Anybody needs to know what I'm talking about right there. You go Google a picture of Patrick Ewing in the fourth quarter, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker. Unbelievable. Okay, so you look at it this way. How can The Undertaker possibly lose, right, to somebody who's not even really a wrestler? It's The Undertaker, right? Then at the same time, why would they have this match if Shane's not going to win? Why would he come back? But then you go back, he can't win, right? The Undertaker can't lose. A professional wrestler of 25 years, he can't lose to somebody who's not a wrestler. What would that do to his legacy? Right? I'm torn. Undertaker can't lose. Undertaker's lost once at WrestleMania, and it was to Brock Lesnar. He can't lose to Shane McMahon, right? It just wouldn't make any sense to me. I'm not going to let it happen. I am not going to let it happen, okay? No. It's not happening. I will send Vince a personal email. And all I'm going to say is no. Then you have Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose, okay? You've got Brock Lesnar, who is the biggest name in the WWE, maybe behind, The Rock, if you can even consider him a current person on the roster. Brock Lesnar, you look at Brock Lesnar, he doesn't have to say a word. We talk about mic skills, right? We talked about mic skills a little bit ago and how Roman Reigns lacks it. Brock doesn't have to say anything, and he has better mic skills than Roman Reigns. Okay? Brock will intimidate you just by smiling. That is scary. Okay? Brock is powerful, But Brock is a wrestler, okay? Brock was a great college wrestler. Brock he's a wrestler, okay? He's an entertainer. Dean Ambrose is a fighter. You've got the whole David Goliath. Me personally, world title, I don't even know. Or maybe it was just those two, I don't know. Yeah, it was just Roman versus Brock. So, that match, the Seth Rollins-Randy Orton match, that match stole the show. That was the best match hands down that night. And I think it was the first match of the evening. So you always have those matches, okay, that steal the show, man. And it's not always the main event. I go back to my favorite Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat. I always go back to that. You can watch that match. That match was perfectly executed. Okay? Perfectly executed. There was not one single moment of that match that was oops or oh wow. That was a perfectly good match. So again, those are my thoughts on the upcoming WrestleMania. I believe it's in 3 weeks, Sunday night. Again, I hope they add some more matches, but I do feel like this main event's going to need some work. It is definitely not the main event for the ages. It's not going to be a main event that I particularly going to care about. Again, hopefully the WWE will add some good matches and make the fans happy. That's always what it's about, is making the fans happy so we come back for more. But that's all I've got for you on WrestleMania right now. I'm sure there'll be more in the weeks to come following Monday Night Raw and building up to WrestleMania. With that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful night, and I will be talking to you all very, very soon. God bless you all.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Not again. Yeah, I learned the game from William Wesley. You can never check me. Back to back for the niggas that didn't get the message. Back to back like I'm on the cover of Lethal Weapon. Back to back like I'm Jordan 96, 97. Whoa.